Welcome to the Game of Risk, everyone. I'm your host, OliveXC, a top player at this game. And today we are doing Tutor Tuesday, where I review a subscriber game and help them and you, the viewer, get better at the game of Risk. Today's game comes from XCDude, who asked me to review their Round 5 game of the Kill Pete Open Tournament, which is a 6-player progressive game on the World Conquest map. And right away, we see some crazy stuff. The black player in this game managed to get a continent on turn 1. This is huge because they're going to be getting an extra 3 troops a turn, which advantage is just incredible. Immediately, I see, I think, a mistake from XCDude. Because if you notice, XCDude, by the way, is the green player and the protagonist in this game. We can see this 4 can't really be hit by this 5, right? It'll be too much of a hit. And white could not have hit from before. The only thing that could have worked is if XCDude did a 5-on-3. There was, I think, a really big miss from XCDude because you have to remember, black is before green in the turn order, right? If they're getting a massive amount of troops, even getting the 20 set, or if anyone trades in early, the 25 set, once the trade-ins get huge, the black player will be able to chain a large number of kills together, being 40 kills ahead of all the other players, and if they're very competent, will have a very good chance of winning the game. You'll also notice that black really isn't located anywhere else on the board, like this spot right here. It'd be very hard for them to get down into hit the Oceania bonus. This area right here, too far away, and this blizzard prevents the connection point. So I think that overall is a very big miss by the green player. Because otherwise you have to go hope for luck, right? That green has a set on 4, black does not have a set on 4. Both of those situations happening together are very unlikely, and you don't want to be risking that. As I look at how players are spreading out, because you have to remember this is a progressive game, it's worth it to be staying spread out and eliminating players when it's worth it for their cards. Here we can see black very well spread out with this pseudo spot here, which now really can't be taken, as well as being on the left, middle, and upper portions of the map. Black has a huge advantage in the game. White, I think, is pretty well spread out, having the spot here in South America, Europe, and again, the right side of the map. XCDude, our protagonist, nothing really in the upper right-hand side. This is, I am a little bit worried about that he's located well in the middle, essentially, so it makes it a little bit easier to be eliminating them. Purple, I'm also a little bit worried about, as they're only in the upper side of the map. They don't have anything on the lower side of the map. Blue, I think, is very well spread out with multiple small stacks. I would be probably protecting this 2 a little bit more, making this like a 3. Having a big spot of your troops like this 9, I don't think really is as useful because it's kind of blocked to be able to reach the other players. Building up your stacks, I think, in the middle would be more important, like with your 3 or your 5, in order to access more of the map. And then finally, the red player, I think, is well spread out, seeing that they are located on the left-hand side of the board, the middle of the board, the edge of the board. Getting through this early game, you can see, because the black player is getting all these extra troops a turn, you can see they're really starting to pull ahead in the momentum. And the purple player, who has received several hits early game, they're now a couple troops behind everybody. And the black player, even before trading in, may have an opportunity to eliminate them early. I wouldn't do that, though, if I was black. Mainly reason being you'd sacrifice more troops and it's worth it for the purple player's cards, and you'd be sacrificing your early advantage. If I'm black, I'm just trying to get as many cards and troops as possible to chain multiple kills together to get an edge overall in the game. But that's basically it for the early game. Let's speed on ahead to the midpoint and people moving on to 5 cards and trade-ins. Whoa, we see something interesting there. Wow, did red just lose 2 troops attacking that? Okay, that's actually pretty crazy right there. That is very unlikely. Wow. But otherwise, back to the music. And now I think we get to a very interesting point of this game. The purple player chose to trade in early because they felt they were behind on troops. I think this was a really bad decision. Also, XCDude, I think, made a small mistake leaving their 8 here. They should have left it on the Ukraine as it's more open. You want to have a mix of spots where you're well defended, like in the Peru area of the board, as well as in Ukraine have easy attacking points. You've now lost access to the right-hand side of the map. But the purple player, we can see here, by them trading in, everybody else is going to be getting bigger trade-ins, right? You'll notice that black has not traded in. So they're getting the 6 trade-in, white's getting the 8, green the 10. The point is you're giving all of your opponents a lot bigger sets. And when the big trade-ins start happening, the black player will get the 20, the white player the 25, green the 30. Unless the purple player ends up having a set on 3 cards, they're going to be eliminated. They have no chance of surviving all those rounds of trade-ins. When the value of the trade-ins are worth the number of troops that you have, you're most likely going to be getting eliminated, putting everything in a pretty tenuous situation. You can see right now, the players already are getting very close to eliminating the purple player. If I look at the white player here, they're already like, they can do it with like a trade-in. They're like the second weakest player, like one of the weakest players on this board right now after their trade-in. Black, when they go next, they're going to be almost doubling the troops with a trade-in. They can just kill purple very easily. Because remember, look, purple's just in this hand side of the map, right? They're just here and here, all in a line. Black has a perfect line on them here, like just pop, 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 dead. And then you just go down here, and it's easy pop. Also, looking at what black has perfect lines on the white player, right? Like the 10 goes in here, 8 pops in here, 7 goes up here. You use a majority of your extra troops to go in and also take out the 9 because no one's on North Africa right now. Like if I'm XCDude, recognizing what black can do, I'm trying to think, how can I stay alive? Because here's another thing. Black also has good lines on our protagonist green. The 7 can, this 10 can just go in and like pop out here. The 7 can go in down here and take things out. The 9 can go in and potentially take things out. Like, because the blizzards are relatively open, because you have these double blizzard spots right here that aren't very impactful to the rest of the map, it makes the board relatively open, and it makes it very easy for other players to be getting kills for themselves. I think if the black player has a set on 4, they just go and take this game right away. If I'm them, I just trade in. I prioritize taking out, probably leave a lot of troops down here to also pop the 12. Then my 13 goes in through China to pop out the rest here. I leave some extra troops to line up the rest of the purple player. And then with my trade-in, I then go in, I leave the majority of it here, and then I prioritize popping out this, going down here, popping these 2, getting a double kill. So I'm getting like the 20 set, the 25 set, the 30 set, and then with the board so opened up, and with blue trading in here, he can then take out green, right? Because if he has this big stack right here, he can just fortify hitting the green player all out right here. He already has a remaining stack here, cleans out you all here. The black player, if they have a set on 4, they sweep this game right away, and there's nothing that XCDude can do. And it all comes down to the initial decision of don't give a player a freaking continent turn 1, no matter what in progressive. At the highest levels, they will capitalize if they have a set. But holy cow, they don't have a set. So you can see a lot of my analysis was on black on how they could have easily just won the game. I'm pausing here because I want to really emphasize this. Because when I was listening to XCDude's commentary, because again, I always link the videos in the description of these videos. XCDude was so worried about black, but then when white's turn came along, they were like, oh wait, white could kill me. Because, again, look at the white player. This 3, super connected to take you out here. They put, with a 25 trade in, they could just put something like 10 troops here. Then they put 6 troops here. And then they're going to have another 12. So they make that a 15. Probably it's a little bit too much, so maybe they put an extra 2 here, take off 1 here, take off 1 here. It's still a very high percentage chance of that kill succeeding. Because while the purple player is weaker, because the majority of the purple player's strength is located in North America, that's well guarded by the other players, white, I think, should have earlier prioritized placing more troops down in Alaska, recognizing that purple was going to be the weaker player once they traded in. If this was around 12 to 15 troops in size, which they could have done with their extra trade-ins like from before, they, I think, would have had a much better shot to really line up the kill, because this 8 is essentially blocked, being surrounded by the other players. But even still, they have a high chance to kill the green player, XCDude, right here. So I just wanted to highlight that because of its overall importance. But as we look at the white player's turn, and I'm slowing down here, because most of the progressive is kind of determined in the last few turns when like the trade-ins get large and the kills get made. White chooses not to go for the kill. They overplaced in Siberia, and that gives XCDude a chance. So if I look at XCDude as the green player, it looks like they're trying to eliminate the red player right now. And if you notice, they placed most of their troops down here to like go for this. They could have gone for either purple or red. And you can see they got a bad roll. Now they need a good roll. So you can see that was a little bit unlucky. Going back just a tiny bit, because I really want to emphasize this, when they could have put down their initial draft. So you see they have 33 troops, right? So with 33 troops that they would get with the 30 trade-in, if the XCDude were to have put in 20 troops here, and then leave the rest of the troops on the 12, so that'll make it a 25, you would see this 25 has to take out 1, 2, 8, 9, 10, 11, 18 territories. That's almost 100% guaranteed right there. This 12 takes out the 6 100% of the time. 20 takes out the 14 100% of the time. You can see that's very, very low risk. So by going for the red player kill instead of the purple player kill, they give themselves some risk, right? Because now they're not guaranteed to be working, so they have to do a lot more splits instead. Whereas if they just kind of waited to get like the bigger trade-in for themselves, they may have been able to get the kill correctly. They'd also naturally be attacking red a little bit more. So they could have got it on the 35 trade-in with just like a little bit of extra buffer. And now they have a wild card, so red didn't trade in. Red was greedy. If I was red, I would have traded in from before. I think that was a big mistake by them. But now we see you're trying to take them out. But look at this right here. You'll notice that XCDude was leaving 21 troops here when going for the kill. I would also put this as a mistake as well, because you only need 20 for a 100% roll. So now you can see, because XCDude is moving very fast, it'll be a big adrenaline rush. They can only do a 10v7 here. The 10v7 is around 75-80% or so. If they just made this, had it one extra troop down here and one less troop here, they could have guaranteed this an 11v7, which would have upped their percentage by 15 points. So again, instead of going for the instead of going for 100% kill on purple, then 100% kill on red, they're going for less than 100% rolls. Ultimately, the roll did work, as we see here, but you can see, based on how they were doing it, as XCDude gets double wild. This is insane. Absolutely insane. And now we see that XCDude has managed to get the kill here. And if I was XCDude, I would actually leave all of my troops on the Peru region. And this is because Peru is actually located almost everywhere on the map, besides right here on the board, but you'll be getting a trade-in, guaranteed, for sure. We see they just spread out their troops, and they're not necessarily located where they need to be. Like, this 25 is redundant. This 21 is redundant. There's nothing going here, so there's a lack of redundancy. Again, I just feel like some mistakes are taking place, and now you see blue, they're just attacking a big stack. They just don't know what to do. So because the black player not having a trade-in, white not going for the kill, XCDude getting lucky on 2 trades, and now blue making a mistake, black now is able to go for their big trade-in, and if I'm black, it's a tough decision to go for. I would probably say, again, I'm going to go back here to look at this situation. Black is getting 47 troops, so they got a little bit of extra on the Siam region. Could they eliminate XCDude from the game? If we put something like 20 here, that would take out this portion very easily. Something like 16 here, that would then take out this portion. That's 36. You get another 11 troops. You place 9 here. This gives you another 6 troops, putting you on 19. Then you can like attack down all here in a line, probably taking a couple extra territories. And then you put the rest down on the, this 11, I think, can probably swoop in, just knock out all of this. And then the 23 would then have to become a 30, probably at like the most. And this would have to attack a 4, 8, 12, 15, 31, 37. So it's actually very, very tight to have that kill be worth it. Another option, because again, like this 10 and the 12 of black are a little redundant, where like it's hard for them to both kind of reach like their full potential. So I don't think black could have gone for the kill on XCDude, even by being up all these extra troops, because of like all the movement they have to make around the map and all of the extra territories that XCDude has as a whole. Because if they fail, the white player just wins the game. And again, those calculations are very, very challenging. So we can see instead what the black player chooses to do is they are just going for a safe kill on the blue player. And in a tournament play, they're just trying to maximize their overall points and guarantee a bounty for themselves, right? To get at least 1 kill. But now you can see they're on 5 cards, and they'll be in 63 troops. There's nothing that anyone can do. Now, if I am the white player here, I'm just going for the black player. I absolutely have to. It's the only chance that I have. You can see they leave all their troops on the 28. I think that's a mistake. I would leave everything down on the 9 instead. And I would have prioritized placing everything down on Brazil. But we can see the white player instead is just hitting black as hard as possible, trying to weaken them and make it easier to get the kill, because they're just trying to get second place at this point. Because of like a lot of the mistakes and a little bit of luck on the XCDude's end, they have been able to basically just sweep this game with 21 points. So this was a very, I think, instructive game, as XCDude beautifully is now getting like the remaining kills. We can see it's very, very important to, when someone holds like a bonus, if they get the good card luck as well in a match, they can just sweep the game very, very easily. But if the cards go your way, you can have some amazing opportunities for yourself. This was an excellent game, XCDude. Thank you for sending this in and showing this amazing sweep of 21 points for everyone on Tutor Tuesday. But with that, this is OliveXC signing off.